Hi everyone, Lady Botcher Angela here with another face up. I am doing the face up of a Dollpamm boy. I can't remember at this time who he is. But here I am. I have my materials. I have my colored pencils, my watercolor pencils, my Mungyo pastels. I do have some mica powder as well. And I did spray him with Mr. Super Clear. I also do have my watercolors, the Prima, and here we go. So here I am. This is the first face up, and I say first because there is two. And no, I did not film the second one. I was going at the first one and I liked the idea of it. I think I like the idea more than the execution of it. And yes, I did send progress picture to Libby because this is Libby's. This is her second commission for me. And so I was going along and I was liking it up until a point, and up until that point I was like, I couldn't do it. I could not. I didn't like the way the eyelashes turned out. The attempt at facial hair the first time was okay, but again, I didn't have the technique down that I wanted for the face up, if that makes sense. So the order that I did things, so if you want your lines of your colored pencils to be a bit more soft, you would put your lines down first and then go over them with pastels to make them a little bit more softer, less edgy, things like that. If you wanted them to stand out, you actually would do the opposite. So you would put down your pastel and then you would put the lines over. So I do that mostly with the lips. So I put down the pastel for lips first, and then I put the lined lips in, the lined parts of the lip in after that, just to make them stand out a bit more. I do that a couple times. So I do a bit softer lines at first, and then I do the lines that I want to stand out later. So that's kind of how I worked this one with the facial hair and the eyebrows, is that I put in the pastel first, and then the lines for the eyebrows, and then for the beard I put in the lines and pastel together. So it just was not the correct execution of technique that I should have done. So as you can see here, on the first face up, I did put in some custom made pastels for his face. I wanted him to look a bit more ruddy. He's supposed to be a devilish fawn boy, a satyr of types, if you will. And I wanted him to have very dark eyes and, you know, just outlined very darkly, and so they kind of pop out. And I think I liked this attempt actually. I didn't put pink on the waterline. I put brown as well, and then I didn't like it, so I went back in with some red over top of the brown, and that actually worked out really well because it still kept it kind of dark, but it still kept it a little bit more natural, I think, with it being a bit more red / pink, so for a waterline. So I had a hard time with this one. As you can tell that I did a second attempt, so I didn't like how the eyelashes came out. They were very graphic, if not graphic in a lewd way, but graphic as in like more of like an anime style type of eyelash, if you will. I do like what I'm doing here now though, is I'm framing the sculpted eyebrows and the nose, And I really liked that bit, so I kept it in the second attempt. No, I did not film the second attempt because I just wanted to, well, I talked to Libby and I was just not happy with it. And not even 2 seconds after talking to her, or within talking with her, I chipped the face up. All right on the chin. I told her right then, I was like, well, I'm gonna have to scratch this face up anyway. So I had to start over. And I like this attempt a whole lot better the second time around. I did use the same techniques. That's why I kept in the first attempt, is because I did do pretty much similar techniques for both. Excuse me. For the eyebrows and the beard, though, I did not go with watercolor this time. I went just with the pencil, and I had a really sharp tip, so I actually didn't mind that too much. It gave me a little bit more control. I think it looked a bit more natural for the beard with the pencil, more so than the watercolor. So in the attempt of watercolor beard, face up 1, Angela 0. So that's where it chipped, was because I think the watercolor was not, I guess, saturated enough. It was more watery texture than solid, I guess you could say. I don't know if that even makes sense, but I think that's maybe why it chipped, because I tried going over it with pencil and it goes, the first stroke, it was chip. I was like, no. So started over. But pretty much the same rules apply as what I'm doing here. So a little bit different techniques in what I did the second time. But again, I felt so bad, and Libby was reassuring me just to, enjoy the process. And I think that's what made me not film, was because I just wanted to enjoy the process. I really liked these eyebrows that I did with the watercolor, but again, had to restart. So maybe in the future I will do those again, but again, I'd have to work at my consistency with my medium. So c'est la vie. So what I'm doing here is I am just doing a beard goatee thing. She gave me some reference photos, and all of them at least had a goatee. One of them had a beard, and so I was going to just do the goatee part that kind of connected to a mustache. That's kind of what I was shooting for this. So in the second attempt, you'll see that I actually did a goatee. I actually like that one a lot better than this one, this first attempt. So I think it worked out well. I think the eyebrows turned out well as well. They're very bushy. They're very, I wouldn't say streamlined, I guess, if that's a word for eyebrows. Not very fleek. They're very bushy and very natural, and I really like that for his character. So they're supposed to be hairy little, sexual demon things, nymphs, if you can say that. So I mean, satyrs are pretty amorous with these spirit nymphs and things like that. So I was trying to give him kind of a devilish fawn look, and that's kind of what Libby was kind of going for. So I tried to give that to him, and yes, I did use Pearl X powders, which is my powder. on his face to give him kind of that ethereal look. Yes, I did put in some veins as well on the sides of his temples, and yeah, I actually think he turned out pretty well in the end. So at the second attempt. So I think that's all I really had. I enjoyed the process both times. I learned a lot the first time, of course, as we do with our, I guess you could call it failures. But that's just how we learn and how we get better. So again, I am glad it happened because I do like the second attempt a lot better than the first one. So you know, I learned a lot, and I hope to bring that along my face-up journey. So thank you, Libby, so much for always being there to support me when I'm kind of not believing in myself. So thank you so much for that. So I am going to leave you guys with the rest of this video just to watch and see the process that I did. And yeah, this boy turned out really well. I think he's very, very dashing. So thanks again, everyone, for watching.